hello, everyone, and welcome to Dream Leapers. I am so happy to be with you today. Okay, so this is June, it's Black Music Month, and we are closing it out with a guest who finds her power in music, legacy, and self expression. So let me tell you, I met this dynamic vocalist, songwriter, and performer when I was running Ebony Magazine. Actually, I met her at Paisley Park. See, I had decided that Ebony readers wanted to know what Prince was doing. Paisley Park. We hadn't seen him on the world stage for a minute, and we found him and convinced him through his good friend Tavis Smiley, the journalist, to do a cover shoot. So I flew out to Paisley Park to produce the shoot. And as my team and I were working and flowing with him, he told us that he had members of his band, the New Power Generation, rehearsing in his studio downstairs. So we went down to hear them. And that's when I first saw and heard Shelby J, this bald-headed powerhouse of a performer. And later, after our shoot and an impromptu dinner that Prince invited me and my art director, Dudley Brooks, to attend, alongside the infamous Larry Graham, who was his mentor, Prince pivoted and invited us into the soundstage area where he and MPG performed. That's when not only did we see Shelby J in full effect, but guess what? At one point, Prince even invited me to join them on stage. Yes, I danced and sang with Prince and Shelby J. I know it's unbelievable. Anyhow, our guest has graced some of the most iconic stages in the world. Prince, of course, but also she is rooted in gospel and shaped by soul, funk, and fearless authenticity. Shelby J has built a career defined by passion, resilience, and artistic truth. From touring with some of the industry's greats, such as Anthony Hamilton, Mary J. Blige, the late D'Angelo, and more, to stepping fully into her own voice as a solo artist, she continues to evolve while staying grounded in purpose. More than a performer, she is a storyteller, using music to uplift, to heal, and to connect. Yeah, all that, y'all. Please join me in welcoming Shelby J to Dream Leapers.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you for all of those beautiful words, Harriette. Thank you.
You are welcome, girl. I remember, there's so many things that I remember. So when I left Ebony, it was that the Prince cover came out right after that.
Yes,
and it was, and he had this globe, this purple globe, like he was the world. And wasn't he?
Yes.
Wasn't he? Yeah. Yes. And I ended up having the great good fortune of traveling with you guys for the Welcome to America tour, because I interviewed all the opening acts. I got to get to know you and many other people. And you, that first night, it was in New Jersey, after Prince was famous for the after party. Y'all were in this little space and you were jamming away and you were leading the music. And it was it Anthony Hamilton's or D'Angelo's? Well, I don't know what that music was, but it was not his music, but he was singing it with you.
Yeah, I was doing Chicken Grease.
Yes.
I love song Chicken Grease. Yup.
Whose music is that?
D'Angelo.
So give us a little bit of Chicken Grease so people know what it is.
Let's see. Let me tell you about chicken grease. Stuff some things to make people get out your seat. Out your seat. Everybody's cool. If you want to clap your hands and stomp your feet. Come on down to the funk where you can feel the beat.
Yes. So we are jamming in this tiny little space where, there's always an after party. And this was a small space and people are just so excited to be in the afterglow of the energy. Yeah. And then you are taking us into this deep funk sound.
Deep funk.
And it was so incredibly electric. And I remember, Shelby, when I went home, I got home at about 5:30 in the morning. And my daughter, like that was be the time, right? But that was not my MO to come home at 5:30 in the doggone morning. So I got home and my daughter, this is in 2010, she was born in 2003. So she's 7. Mm-hmm. She, when I got in, when she woke up again, she says, "Mommy, it is too late for anybody to come home at 5:30." Like,
I love it.
but talk about that, the experience of working with him and just the desire to stay awake all night because you didn't want to miss any of this electric creativity.
Yeah, there was such an energy. It was like you would plug into a socket.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel as soon as I got to Minneapolis. And then once I was there so much, even when I was home, it stayed with me. Like I had the batteries on my back. Like I tell
Yes.
guys, a bunny, I'm like, I got the batteries on my back. He was so full of life and energy, and just he didn't want to miss anything. And he was always, his brain was always moving and creating. So it's like there wasn't enough hours in a day for all of the creativity and all of the stuff he wanted to do. So it's like it just kept going and going. And as people be like, Shelby, y'all did a 3-hour show, and now you're doing a 2.5-hour after show. And then he's like, come on, everybody, let's go back to the house.
To the house.
And dance. And Shelby might cook, or somebody might get the chef to cook something. And it just, and everybody was like, okay. And even if you were yawning, like my sisters have a famous thing where my sister's like, is that the sun? Because, they work 9 to 5s, and they came into the Prince camp, and it was like, they're watching the sun come up. We've been going all day, all night, and we're still going. And the sun is coming up. People are going to work. And we're going to the second half of the after party and watching people go to work. So it was just a memory, and so many great memories. I'm so glad I have them.
Yes.
Because I can cherish them forever,
Yes.
especially now, especially with him being not with us on this earthly plane. Like, it's even more special. Each and every moment that we had like that is even more special.
I agree. And there's so many things that I learned from him in that year that I spent with you guys, including, first of all, he believed anything was possible. Like, and anything would be way bigger than whatever you imagined. Like, his vision was way across the globe and into the future, way far into the future. And he's like, why can't you see this?
Yeah. He's like, whatever you say is true, Shelby, whatever you say is true. And I'm like, so watch what you say. And it's so when you hear that, it sounds very cliche and like just a statement, but really think about that. Like, whatever you say about yourself, even when you're by yourself looking in the mirror, even the things you tell yourself in your mind, it will become true. So whether you think you can achieve, and whether you are actively going after your dreams and your goals, like the things that you talk about on your podcast, like those things matter. So the words matter, not just what you say out loud, but what's up here.
Yes, in your spirit.
He believed that. Yep, he believed that wholeheartedly, and would tell us that all the time.
Yeah, and I like bringing up this point because in his passing, people had a lot of questions about how he lived. His craft services tables were the healthiest craft services tables I've ever seen in my life. And for folks who don't know what that is, like backstage at a performance, you provide food for the talent, for the crew, for everybody who is participating. Mm-hmm. There's food backstage. Often, and this is for any kind of performance, for TV, music, what have you, there's food.
Yeah.
And often that food is chips and cookies and all kinds of things that probably you shouldn't eat. That is not what was on those tables.
No.
Tell us what the food was, Shelby J.
Well, it was healthy food because he believed that whatever you put in like that was going to, that's what gives you food is fuel. Yes. And, like Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. Yes. And so everything that goes in you matters. And so I was the healthiest when I got with Prince. Yes. I was not a healthy person. I mean, I thought I was healthy, but I grew up in the South. And so I grew up eating what my grandmother ate, what my mother ate. And even from that, even when I became an adult, and even when you can make your own decisions, I wasn't making the best decisions. Right. And so nobody had really ever taught me about nutrition. And so with him, a lot of people would look at it like, oh, he's trying to put his way on us, but not know what he was trying to do. And if you would allow him, he was just trying to show you another way, that hey, try this and watch how you feel. So when I started juicing, there was the first backstage craft table where there was a juicer, and I had been on many tours. And so I was like, okay, let me start doing these juices. So I became like the juice girl.
Yeah.
And I would be like running all around. Everybody's like, Shelby's like, wing, 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 wing. I had energy before, but once I started really taking care of myself and thinking about everything that went, I call this the last 2 feet of freedom.
Yes.
Everything that went from here to here, it changed my level of performance. So when I got on stage, my performance was like Michael Jordan, Kobe.
Yes.
It's like I'm an athlete up there. So if I'm eating right and I'm taking care of my vessel, then I'm going to be a better performer. I'm going to have more air in my lungs to sing better. Then the people are going to get a better show. So it all worked together for the good of the performance. Yeah, his service tables were healthy greens, vegan stuff, just all kinds of healthy, super organic stuff. Now there was some people, you be sneaking your little Doritos and your little Jolly Rancher.
Hey, people have to have what they have, but I really wanted to bring that up because I've seen many craft services tables and people's riders who say, and the rider, y'all, is like, what if you're a personality and you say, I have to have this when I come into a space. What people often have to have is not what they should be having.
Right. It wasn't no macaroni cheese and fried chicken and the dumplings, because he would say, Shelby, if you want to be light, eat light. And what he meant, not so much as the weight, but just the heaviness.
Yes.
Like when you eat heavy food, your body has to take that energy to digest that food. That's energy that you could be using on stage. You did.
And what we would see, because I was privileged to attend a few rehearsals as well as the performances, the precision with which he did everything. So I remember sometimes it would be the music and somebody didn't have the music right. And he's like, I know the music. Why don't y'all have it right? And I was like, I felt bad for anybody who didn't have it right because he was reading y'all.
I'm the same way with my band, and they wonder like, oh my gosh. And it's not like what it is it's a level. And the thing is, it's like when you do this, and it is our passion, but it's also your job. So if you went to work, we'll say you're working at the post office, right? Yeah. You can't go in there and start getting zip codes just wrong, like 217, whatever. It's the same thing. So it's like that same attention to detail. He cared about those arrangements. It's like you got to show up to rehearsal. You should have done your homework at home. Don't show up to rehearsal. This is the first time you didn't learn the song, because guess what? Your slip is showing. You're telling on yourself. And I tell my band the same thing. If you show up to my rehearsal, I can tell whether or not I wrote the music and I'm still listening to it 3, 4, 7, 12 times a day. So if you show up and you haven't really, really rehearsed and absorbed and done your homework at home, that's why it's called homework. Right. If you haven't done it at home, it's going to be obvious and you're going to slow everybody else down.
That is so incredibly true. And I mean, there's so many lessons. That's one of the lessons from him. And just in terms of mentorship, I remember Maceo Parker was one of the opening acts for Welcome to America, who was part of James Brown's band. And my husband often talks about the discipline that James Brown had. He would fine people if they hadn't done their homework.
He'd go like that. Five.
Yeah, he was like, y'all not ready? You will pay. And he made them pay. Yeah. So that legacy, James Brown, I'm sure Prince studied everybody. So I'm sure he learned from him, and then he taught y'all, and now you're doing it with your band.
Absolutely.
I love when we can learn something from the greats and then apply it in our real life. Absolutely. Hey guys, this is Shelby J talking with us here at Dream Leapers. I am thrilled to have her here. I hope you are as well. Right now, we're talking about Shelby J and Prince and the new power generation with so much more to talk about. I just go back to those times a little bit longer because there were so many lessons. And one of them was about the value of generosity. Prince was incredibly generous and inspirational on so many levels. He was always giving money to, nobody knew. They found out later.
Like this. he didn't show up with cameras like I want. He didn't call the television station so they could show, because it wasn't about that. It wasn't about, let me use this as publicity to show people, look what I'm doing, like I'm a good person. He would just quietly, he did so much. I'm sure some stuff I still don't know about that he did for people, paying their bills, paying their medical bills, taking care of them, you know, just quietly. Like he just did it because it was the right thing to do, and because he felt it in his heart to do it, you know?
Well, and you know, that is biblical. That's what you're told to do in Christian tradition, and basically every spiritual tradition. You are taught that you should be generous and not brag about it.
Yep.
And he was a very spiritual man. What's interesting about that, at the time that I met him, when I walked into Paisley Park, Shelby, in the first 5 minutes of talking to him, we were talking about God and the universe, and then he took me upstairs to his reading room, which is filled with spiritual materials from all over the world.
Yeah,
I was
and he liked you because he didn't take everybody up there. Just know that.
I could, not only did he like me, I was not supposed to be the writer of the story.
But yes, you were though.
I was, because, and I got into an argument with him. Imagine, I now know that you don't win arguments with friends. But I was the editor-in-chief. I was the creative director. I was producing the shoot with my art director. I didn't have time to write a story. Tavis Smiley was supposed to write a story. Tavis is a world-renowned journalist. And Prince says to me in the studio, we're sitting in the studio chatting. This is after you all have performed.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, it's time for the interview and you're going to do it, Harriette. And I'm like, no, Tavis is going to do it. He says, no, you're going to do it. And me, I'm like, no, Tavis is going to do it. And he's like, no, you're going to do it. Like I'm arguing with Prince.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, fine. If I have to do it, let me get my tape recorder. And he says, oh no, I don't allow recordings. I'm like, you don't even talk like a human being. How am I going to get these words right? What are you saying to me? And already I hear my husband saying, the way that I write is scribble scrabble. How will I be able to read what I'm writing down? So
yeah.
I said, we're in a studio. You tape it. You give me the transcript. No. He stomped out of the room in his light up heels and said, I'll be back in a minute. And when he came back, he said, so are you ready?
Yep.
Boyfriend did not take no for an answer.
Pretty much no, nah.
Okay, so lessons before we pivot away from him. What other lessons would you like to share with folks who are tuned in that might be things that will inspire them for their life?
Let's see.
I know.
There are so many.
I know.
Maintain an unwavering belief in yourself. Unwavering. And that doesn't mean that you can't listen to people's advice about, you know, this, that, or the third as you evolve and as you grow. But maintaining that unwavering belief in yourself and in what you are called to do. Because I always say there's only one body in the box at the end of the day. So all of the naysayers, they're not going to be there. It's just you. So you're going to have to answer for what you didn't do. You know, if you're listening to people try to say, oh, that'll never work. Oh, God. People always have something to say. Can you imagine the people? I come from Greensboro, North Carolina. No one had ever really done what I was going to do. And some of the things I've been able to accomplish. So it was just not, I say I'm my grandmother's wildest dream. I am my grandmother's wildest dream. So just maintain. I never quit. Even when things got dark, money got funny, change got strange. Things were just like, I don't know how I'm going to make it, Lord. Please, God, send me a sign. Help me. Just never stop believing in yourself and know that it's okay to ask for help. A lot of times we can let pride get in the way. And my mother would say, that's that foolish pride. Know who to ask for help, though. Know who to ask for help. Use that discernment to know who in your tribe, because they say everybody in your circle ain't in your corner. Okay. So know who to ask for help. Use that discernment, but always keep believing in yourself and have a plan, but you don't got to tell everybody. And that's something I've learned too. You don't have to like pre-announce everything, like this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm about to do, this is what, because then you let people put their energy on it, and everybody is not pulling for you to win. That's just the truth. Everybody don't want to see you win. Everybody doesn't.
People gonna steal your ideas and do what you said you're gonna do.
That part. So my thing is, I've learned this myself because I talk a lot. Just keep it to yourself, and because you want to share it, because you're excited, you know. So you want to, and we live in that society. Instagram, TikTok, it's like instant. You want this is what I'm doing, but you don't always have to do that. So I've learned to kind of just do the work, like Beyonce, do the whole album, 27,000 videos, and put it out at midnight and don't nobody know. Like that right there showed me everything. Like it can be done. Because if she can do it and keep it quiet, then anybody can.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's, and one last thing that I learned from him is always stay teachable. Because when I came to Prince, I was 37, and a lot of people had told me like, it's over. Like if you ain't pop by the time you 26, 27, I don't know. And I was writing, I was singing. I was just like, Lord, this is what I want to do, but I'm just tell me what I'm supposed to do. I'm singing everywhere. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I just need an opportunity. I think I'm a pretty great singer, you know, but why can't I get a chance? Why won't people give me these opportunities? They're giving these other people, and I know I sing better than them. Yep. I know I write better than them, but God knew where he wanted me and how he wanted my dreams to manifest. So the thing that I can say is just like what maintaining that belief in yourself and don't quit, but also put yourself in places where you can continue to grow and learn. Because when I got with Prince, I was 37, and I thought I knew. I thought I was there. Hun, no. I was a 5. He took me to a 12, and he did that through pushing me, through bending me. And sometimes I fought back because I thought I knew more than him. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. La 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 la. And now that I'm older and wiser, and I have been through some things, some life I've been living, this is 16 years later, I can see everything he was trying to show me, everything he was trying to teach me. And I hear it now more than ever. So I'm just grateful that he took the time to want to pour into me. So now that I can pour into others. And that is a thing. It's like we always need to continue to pour into the next generation, especially the next generation of real singers. And I use that word real singers and real musicians. We have to support them and pour into them because they're coming up.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I remember he used to talk about real singers and real musicians all the time, different from folks who are using technology to cover what they can't do. Technology can be good, but not to be a foil.
Yeah, it's a great tool. But it can't be everything. Like when you're doing shows and your mic is not on and you just lip singing along with yourself. I mean, it's great that you were in the studio and you cut a record. But if you are really what you say you are, okay, if you are really what you say you are, and you're not a charlatan or a magician or whatever you want to call it, show up with a mic that's on and sing. Because that's what you are. Like I use the analogy, I can't put on a stethoscope and walk into a hospital and just call myself a doctor and start operating on people. Like I can't just do that. So you have to respect the craft. And if you truly respect the craft, you will do what it takes to maintain your voice. You will practice until you can dance and sing at the same time. People go, well, they dancing and singing at the same time. James did it. Prince did it. Michael did it. So miss me with that. I really mean it. It's like, until you can sing and dance at the same time, don't dance while you sing. Like if you can't do both, or if you just want to be a dancer, get out there and dance. But please don't call yourself a singer and put yourself in the same category as Whitney and Ella and Nina and Sarah and Gladys and Shaka and Patty. And don't do it. Don't put yourself in the category with them, because you're not a real singer. You're not singing. You are moving your lips to a microphone, and that is not real, and nobody respects that.
And I want to say to anybody who's tuned in who is not a singer or a performer, this message is true for you too. Whatever it is that is your thing, is it your thing? Are you good at it? Have you perfected it? If you haven't, stop fronting, do the work, get to the point where you are good at it. And I love your point about it. Age isn't the point, and 37 certainly should not be a point where you're like, I'm done, I'm washed up.
Yeah,
But whatever your age is, as long as you are alive, there is a chance for you to be your best, to do better than whatever you're doing now, to live an incredible life. But you have to believe that.
Yeah, I could have listened to them and just quit. And then 6 months later, I'm meeting Prince in Vegas, and he's changed, and my whole life changed. You understand? So it's like you have to keep going, because that next step could be it. You've worked 25 years and you're like, oh man, but that next month, that 25 year and 1 month could be the door, could be the person that sees you, that goes, you know what? I believe in you. I'm going to invest in you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to help you manifest your dream. So, but if you quit,
Right.
you never get there. So I'm just so grateful to God that he led me to Prince and Larry Graham. I'm so thankful.
Oh, yeah, Larry Graham.
So
One of the lessons that my mother taught my sisters and me was to keep good company. And she's been gone now for a year. She was 95 years old when she left us, but she's not gone because her messages are flowing through all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But this notion of keep good company, part of being able to stay confident and to be able to keep pushing when there's so many doubts, like when you said, maybe nothing is going to happen because things haven't happened, or maybe you're in a lull. I've talked to so many people right now, Shelby, who are in a feeling of lack, where they've lost their job, they're not making money, they have to do something that isn't what they need. Something is not right in their life, and that is true for a lot of people right now. But if you surround yourself with people who love you, who tell you the truth the way that you can hear it, who support you, who see, maybe they can see what you don't see right now, and they can push you toward that. It makes such a big difference, because if you put yourself in the company of people who are complaining all the time, or who are jealous of whatever you have, that's going to bring you down. Tell us, have you had experiences when you've been around people who are, trying to pull you down? And if so, how have you managed that?
Well, let's see. Prince was looking at me on the picture like, I went through some challenging times with my divorce in 2012 into 2013. I thought my life was over, and that's just the truth. I'm just going to keep it 100.
Yeah.
I, married the love of my life, and I thought I was going to be married for the rest of my life. And I had, Prince knew about it. He was on the plane with us, and everywhere I went, he went, and it was just part of everything. I had this whole plan. And so when my life kind of blew up on me, all of my plans just went poof. Like, I didn't know up from down. I didn't know where I was. I was just, and until you go through something like that, I wouldn't wish that feeling on anybody. I've healed since then. I have no, malice or ill will toward anybody, because that was God's plan for my life. And I see that now. Everybody is not supposed to be with you as God takes you to what he wants for you. Some people are just a chapter. They're not the book. So I get that now, but I had a lot of people around me. I was hearing the negativity about, oh girl, her marriage fell apart, and just all of that darkness. And I had put out a single right on 12/12/12, and it was called North Carolina. And Prince and I were making plans with, everything that was happening I had just gotten married. And so the single came out, and I was working on music for the album, and then my life blew up. And the last thing I was thinking about was going back to Paisley and finishing songs for my album. And so he goes, heal, stay home, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. But the people they didn't know about that. So then online, I'm looking at people, what happened? Shall we put out one song? And just because I'm not being vocal about what's happening in my personal life, I just kind of went, under. So hearing that and letting that, and Prince was like, stay offline, don't read the stuff. And of course I didn't. And I was like, yeah, I'm not. And then I'll be like, what's going on? Secret squirrel, what's going on?
Right.
I had to learn that too the hard way, like, because the internet will hurt your feelings. And
All the
these
time.
people, they don't know you. Like, they don't know me at all. So don't give people that don't even know your middle name and know your mama and your aunties and when you go to church, you give them all this power and give their words power. So I had to learn to shut out that noise. And I'm glad I've gotten really good at it now, because as I go forward, all of that is going to help me, because now it's like, it doesn't even matter to me at all. And I can really honestly say that, because I used to be more of a people pleaser, but not anymore. It's like, I'm doing what I'm being led to do. God is ordering my steps, and I'm cutting out all of that noise, because I'm so focused on the task and on the mission that all of my energy is going there. So it's like, I don't even look for validation. Chris will be like, what you looking for? You going on the internet, what are you looking for? Are you looking for somebody to tell you how cute you look, or how this, blah, 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 blah. And you know how he could be. And I'd be like, oh, you're right. Like, what am I? What am
that reminder was so incredibly important. Hey guys, this is Dream Leapers with Harriette Cole. We are in conversation with the one and only Shelby J, singer, songwriter, performer. She's out there globally having an impact, bringing her joy and love and secret soulful sauce to everybody. So I have to tell you, I have this other broadcast, Dream Leapers Inspiration, that we do every Monday morning, and Shelby will just pop up and be online with us from Denmark. And where have you been?
Because Netherlands, I popped on from the Netherlands. I popped on from France.
Yeah.
I popped on from Switzerland one time last summer. So yeah, I love it when I see it. I love it.
I love it too. So, and you're going to these places. What is it like? What are audiences like when you are traveling around the world and bringing, your version of joy to them?
Yeah, the Shelby J, they're like, Shelby J, the J is for joy. That they started that, and over in Europe, and I love it. I'm like, okay, the J is for joy, because I want to spread love and light everywhere I go, and we need that in the world more so now than ever. And I love how receptive people are that English is not their first language at all, but they feel music is the universal language. So they feel it. They feel my message of togetherness and of love, my symbol with the heart, coming together, whether you're Slovakian, whether you're French, whether you're Somalian, whether you're Danish, whether you're Dutch. The one thing that binds us is love. We're all here together. So if we can learn, and Prince talked about this so much, when you looked out at his audience, it was everything, every color, every creed, every age. So my audiences look like that, because so many of the people first saw me with Prince. I have a lot of new people as well, but so many of those people remember me because Prince took me to these places. And I'm so very grateful that he opened up so many of these doors for these people to even know who I was. And Shelby, he put me on Front Street singing 3, 4, 5 solos. It's like, I'm like, Prince, is your show. They did not come to see me.
That is something that I'm glad you mentioned this, because I witnessed that. And as an audience member, sometimes people will be like, why aren't you performing, dude?
I know. I was like, he's down. He's like, I'm going to do my makeup. You sing these 3 songs. You got it. And I'm like, okay. So I would get out there.
Back to that generosity. I mean, he gave people, certainly, an opportunity to shine in some of the best of places. And I mean, he didn't have to do that.
No, he was very generous with his light. I tell people that all the time. He was so generous with me, and he pushed Liv out there and Elisa as well. And my mother was like, goodness, great, Shelby. Like, when they came to the show, I was like, yeah, it's the love. And he's like, Shelby, sing another song. And I'll be doing another tune. So I'm just grateful to him for introducing me to so many people worldwide. And now that I go back to these places, I'm taking my new music. I'm taking my new ministry of my love, my light, my Shelby J joy, all over. And I'm just bringing people together, and they leave my shows feeling uplifted, motivated, inspired. And I tell them to take it out into the world. Don't just what you feel in this show, take it to your job, take it to your neighbors, take it to your grocery store,
Yep.
like take it everywhere. You know, that's what we got to do.
That's beautiful. You know, we mentioned earlier, and in fact, you gave us a little snippet of D'Angelo music. You spent time working with him back when he was D'Angelo, like that Mr. Hot Man back then. You know, it's tragic. He's gone.
I miss him.
Angie Stone is gone. You know that they were family,
Yeah,
and he was family to you. Tell us what D'Angelo meant to you and what his legacy is today.
Whew. Oh man, D was my heart, and I miss him so much. Our bond was strong and deep, and I still now play his voicemails back because I need to hear his voice. I need to hear him call me beloved. You know, he called me beloved, and I need to hear that sometimes, and it just touches me. When I got with Prince, it was so funny because he was like, "Yep, that makes perfect sense," you know, and he was putting his new band together, the Vanguard, and I was, you know, I was with Prince. We were rolling 2013, 2014,
Right.
and so he was like, "Yeah, well, I gotta find somebody else. My girl is with my mentor. I can't.
Right.
I can't be like, yeah, leave Prince and come back with me." So, but he was aware of everything I was doing. He was so proud of me, and he let me know that how proud he was of me, and he encouraged me to continue to do my music. He was like, you know, make sure you stay on your path with what you want to do, you know, with your songs. And I would play stuff for him, and I gave him this really funky guitar. And we would, you know, when I was first learning to play guitar, we would play guitar together. But I miss D. And after, I remember a funny story. He was coming to Minneapolis, and he was performing at First Avenue. And I want to say it was like late 2014, Black Messiah album was out, and he was doing like Saturday Night Live and different shows promoting it. And he was coming to First Avenue. And of course I wanted to go and see him. And we were rehearsing at Paisley. And I was like, "Prince, you know, D's going to be here." He's like, "Well," I said, he was like, "Nope." I was just like, oh, so I had to call D, and I was like, "I can't come and see you at the show." And I was so disappointed, and they were leaving like right after, so it was not like I could see him the next morning. So we missed each other then. But a couple of years later, he called me. We talked all the time, and even though I was with Prince, he would call me just out of the blue, and in my phone it says D, and it would just pop up, and I knew it would be him. And so he would call just randomly, sometimes 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning. "Hello, beloved," you know, blah, 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 blah. And we would just talk about everything. He would check on me, which is cool because people that love you check on you. They don't just call you when they want something or when they need something. They just call to check on you. And I love that he would do that. But he called and he was like, "I'm doing this show." And this was after Prince had passed. And he was like, "I'm doing this show and it's going to be real special. And I want you to do it with me. It's going to be at the Hollywood Bowl." Now, I could sing with him again because Prince had passed. I was no longer in Prince's band, so I could go and sing with D. And I was just like, oh, wow, he reached out. He wants me to mix me in with his other band. So I got to meet members of his, you know, Vanguard band, Jermaine and Red and Chris Dave and all of these people that they weren't part of the Soultronics, which was my band with him in 99, 2000. So I got to be back with some of my old cats, like Pino and Root and who else on guitar? My goodness, Norris Bo on guitar, and we did the Hollywood Bowl, and I did not know that was going to be D's last show. That was his last live show, and I'm so grateful. We rehearsed for 2 weeks in New York, so we had so much time to be together in New York, rehearsing, preparing, and it was Dave Chappelle presents Netflix as a joke, and I'm sure it'll come out on DVD someday. But we did it, and that was the time somebody ran out on stage, and it was on the news like somebody tried to tackle Dave. Then that was when that happened. But we did that show, and it was just a magical night. And Dee was so happy, and Quest was on drums, and Raphael Sadiq was there. And I'm just glad we had that moment because I always wanted to perform with my brother again.
And you did
do it, and I got to do it. So
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, someone else that you perform with, I hold dear to my heart, Anthony Hamilton. So when I left Essence, because I ran fashion at Essence before I left there, and I started my own company. And in the early days, I was doing, well, for many years I did artist development, but it included in the early days styling.
Okay.
And I was hired to style Anthony Hamilton's very first album cover.
What?
I don't know if I ever told you that.
Oh, I love it.
And so I brought in a team, including my friend Rick Ramsey, who's a menswear stylist, and we worked together to create this great look for him. And it was a wonderful experience. And what I remember about him that has been true from day one to this day is what a gentleman he is, what like soul brother gentleman, right?
Yeah. Carolina all day.
Carolina, just such a wonderful spirit. And I love that you worked with him. What would you like to tell us about Mr. Anthony Hamilton?
Oh, well, I taught him all his notes.
Okay.
He's gonna laugh when he sees this.
He will.
It's an inside joke. Anthony is my brother from another mother. I love him deeply as well.
He loves you too.
To my core.
Yeah.
And Anthony is the reason that I got with D'Angelo. Anthony brought me into D'Angelo's camp. D'Angelo was looking for another singer, and he wanted a boy, and because he wanted all boy band.
Okay.
And so Anthony was like, "Yo, I got this girl. She's cool. She's got a deep voice, like a tenor. Trust me, you're gonna love Shelby. She Carolina. Like, trust me." And he trusted him enough to let him bring me in. So I came in like straight from my job at the flower shop. I had my overalls. Listen, here I came in looking like Ellie Mae. I had flowers in my hair because I didn't have time to go home from work. And I came straight from my job, parked my car, came in with my overalls on, and there was people in there in New York, they dressed to the nines. And I was like, oh boy, here I come, here come country. And D laughed about it years later because he was like, you came in, he was like, okay, all right. He recognized that. Because he's a country boy.
He's a country boy.
So I came in and it was me and Anthony around the piano, and he just started playing stuff. And I would harmonize. He would give me a note and I harmonize and I sing something back. He'd give me something, I'd sing it. And then we all sang together. And when I tell you, it was like warm butter and molasses. I mean, it was just beautiful. And then the next day I left, and the next day they called me that night. And Anthony said he wants you back tomorrow. And I said, okay, cool. And when I came back the next day, the whole band was there. And it was just me, because there was other people in the hallway that was going to like audition too. And nobody else was there. And when I came back, I had a job, and it was me and Anthony. And we started rehearsing for the Chris Rock show to go and sing Chicken Grease. And the Voodoo album was going to be coming out like a month later. So I'm forever grateful for Anthony for making that call to bring me into that camp. And then I ended up singing with Anthony a few years later, being in his band when his album came out. He had singers, and then something happened. He needed somebody to come and fill in. I came, filled in, and I stayed on the road with him for months and months and months, singing and just having his back. That's my brother forever.
That's beautiful. And I just have to say, for those people who do not know who Ellie Mae is, because it's not Ella Mae, who is the performer now. It's different. Ellie Mae is Ellie Mae Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies. So if y'all don't know that reference, go look it up because it's so fabulous. But I realize, Shelby, that a lot of people don't know these references. It depends upon either if you've been watching those the Cartoon Network or whatever the old shows are on, or if you are of a certain age, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me remind folks, this is Dream Leapers with Harriette Cole. The time is jumping by. We are talking with Shelby J, singer, songwriter, performer. We have 5 minutes left, believe it or not. So I have a few questions. Okay. Number one, are you still a beekeeper?
No,
that was that for a while.
Well, let me just catch you up. That was my husband's business. Yeah,
Oh,
that business belonged to my husband, and I don't even know if they're still in business, but I
mhm.
supported it as
I
if
know
it
you
were
did.
mine. And Prince bought all the honey that we had, so he
Mhm.
supported it as well. But yes, when I parted ways, that
That's
parted everything. So yes, I'm
well,
no longer doing that.
okay. All right. And the pivot to your music on your own. This is a quick question because we don't have much time, but how hard was that? Was that scary to go, okay, now Prince is gone. I'm on my own. I got to do my thing. Boom.
No, not really, because I was doing that before him. Like I
Good.
put out Black Gypsy Volume 1 in
Right.
2003. So I
That's
had my own band that I had formed in New York when I was living in Brooklyn, and with my boys Carter and John and Derek and David. I formed my band Black Gypsy 2003 and self-produced and financed my very first album, Black
excellent.
Gypsy Volume 1, which is still available on iTunes.
Okay. And okay. And what is next? Because there's music coming out.
Yes, I have new music coming out on 6/26/26, a single called See You Again. It'll be available exclusively on my website, on my Shelby J Bandzoogle website, and they'll be able to get that. I'll make sure you have the links for that. It's going to drop on 6/26/26, and I'm debuting it live with Candy Dulfer and her band at the Purple Jam July 2nd in Utrecht, Netherlands, with a full band, full horns. It's going to be amazing. And the song is my love letter to D'Angelo and Prince. I call them my bookends, and I'm paying homage to them and talking about our life on the road and just telling that story. But anybody who's ever lost someone that they care about will be able to relate to the lyrics.
What advice do you have for people who are tuned in right now who may be a little afraid of pursuing their dreams?
Yeah, fear is the devil. Do not let fear, let me tell you something.
It is.
Fear will stifle you. Fear will keep you from living your best potential. Fear will keep you stuck where you are. So you have to step out on faith. My mama said, fear or faith, you choose. Fear or faith, you choose. So I'm gonna choose the faith. The faith that even when you can't see where your foot is gonna land, you can't always see that, but you have to step out on faith and leave fear somewhere else. If you're praying, you can't worry and pray at the same time.
Mm.
So if whatever you're worrying about, pray on it and keep it moving. And do not let fear keep you from manifesting your dreams and being all that God wants you to be in this world.
So you said that during that period it was so difficult for you,
Yeah.
because what you just said, yes, makes sense. But for people who are stuck, who like, I hear you, Shelby J, but I
Yeah.
don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
What got you out of the depths of negativity when you were just there?
Yeah, I would remember good things, because sometimes you forget and you get so caught up in the storm that you think it's going to last forever. And all storms run out of rain. All of them do eventually. And so gratitude is a really good thing. I had to remember things to be grateful for in my life, all the time. God bringing me through things that I didn't think I'd be able to come through. And also focusing on positive things around me, listening to positive things on the internet, reading positive things, doing positive mantras. Every morning I get up, I'm listening to positive things. I'm listening to frequencies that are positive on YouTube. It's free. I tell people it's free. Those, I would let it play all day, every day. That
Right.
what I'm thankful for. And I would pray and I would ask God to help me get out of my funk. When I was in my darkest place, I was like, God, please help me. So prayer, positive thoughts, being grateful, surrounding yourself with people that love you, and don't bottle it in. Find somebody you can talk to, that you can trust, that you can talk to about how you're feeling, because that venting helps you get it out. So it doesn't just fester inside of you, because a lot of times you want to just hold it in. Because when you go through things, there's a lot of shame when you go through divorces and things like that, but you got to get it out. So find somebody that you can trust, that you can share that stuff with.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Please let me know next time you're in New York because I want to give you a real hug.
Listen, I might be coming Christmas time. I'm talking to my girl
Okay.
Melba about trying to do something, because she's my mentor, one of my very best friends, and
Who's that?
Melba Wilson of
Oh,
Melba.
I love Melba. Are you kidding me? That's my
Yeah,
girl.
I started with Melba at Sylvia's way
Oh
back
my
when I first started
goodness.
training. And so Melba has been Team Shelby since day one, since
Beautiful.
1994. So we're talking about me coming there around Christmas time to do something. So I'll keep you posted.
Please do. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing your Shelby J joy with all of us. I love you. Thank you.
I love you back, and thank you for having me.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for tuning in. I hope you feel just as joyful as I do. I love that the European said Shelby J equals joy. And yes, she does. Until next time, have a great day and make it count.